But after a long while he says, "I do see a whole set of new problems in light of this. But there is a solution. Make each track slightly different. Each track, tied as it is to a unique idea, becomes unique in itself, like so." And Thoth staggers off along the riverbank, varying his gait according to the ideas passing through his mind. Calamus watches a while bemusedly. The bird god's japes do take his mind off his world-consuming grief. But, he supposes, it's greater solace to be of service. And so he arises next to the capering ibis and, bending in the river breeze, offers himself to the bird as a simple tool. "Try making your varied tracks with this instrument instead of your toes," he remarks, "and so regain your regal composure." Like the wearyingly systematic ibis, humans strive to put rough-hewn pieces of the world together in useful combinations, a process which, before writing's advent, first took form as myth. And mythology, as the late anthropologist Claude Lévi-Strauss strove to show, is a kind of rigor by other means. To say that writing's invention is the stuff of myth is not to say that it arises out of a superstitious morass, but that its emergence is in and of the world, a natural phenomenon like all that myth unfolds and explains, from storms to love and war. Words are the stuff we humans conjure with. Like Thoth and Wainamoinen, we seek to build things with words. Like Calamus and Odin, we suffer to conjure their power and saving splendor. This cobbling together of disparate notions and things is what Lévi-Strauss famously called bricolage, taken from the Gallic image of the bricoleur, who is something of a handyman, something of a hobbyist, and something, it must be said, of a caveman, too. It's an image that attracted and provoked thinkers well beyond the precinct of anthropology in which Lévi-Strauss's work ostensibly lives. It's a handy metaphor, a brilliant example of the spirit it seeks to pinpoint, and a marvelous demonstration of Lévi-Strauss's own tendency to myth-making. For bricolage itself, in the end, is but a myth. The bricoleur, we are told, is adept at performing a large number of diverse tasks. The rules of his game are always to make do with whatever is at hand. He interrogates all the heterogeneous objects of which his treasury is composed. He remains within the constraints imposed by a particular state of civilization. But here's where the mystery arises, for the bricoleur at once seems not only the constrained, but the constrainer, the force that cobbles together the stuff of culture and the wily, erstwhile jobber who works within it, the author of the myth and its singer. And while the latter is locatable as an individual human being, the former would seem lost in deep time. In the midst of this science of signs, the bricoleur is a kind of intellectual Zelig, a holy ghost, a floating signifier who is also the floating signified. Where do we find him? Perhaps writing becomes the stuff of legend because it wasn't invented, but evolved. History, traditionally conceived of as the record of discrete events, of happenings, and their causes, deals fitfully with evolutionary phenomena. Evolution isn't an event, but a process, irreducible to names and places. It's distributed, occurring in many places simultaneously, and gradual, not likely to produce sudden perceptible transformations. And from this blind, implacable creation arises all the clamor and caprice of culture. Writing's effects are radical. Its emergence, its intimate role in consciousness, its very appearance, all strike at the roots of language, memory, and civilization. And that's what radical means, of course. It's from the Latin radix, for root. Letters and signs can look like roots, pulled from the ground in their tangled skeins of lines and loops. Dredged up from the dark, they nourish and support the meaning we cultivate in words. In semantics, a word's